Welcome to the Holy Bible Study with Shelby. Well, we made it through Exodus. Now we're in the book of Leviticus. Okay? And what a journey it was through Exodus. But now we're in the book of Leviticus. And the title of this lesson is The Law of the Burnt Offerings. Okay? Before we get started, hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you have your King James Version Bible, pen, paper, and patience. And men, make sure we got the family at the table. It starts with us. Okay? Now, like with all my videos, I like to use the audio. Sometime I'll read it, but I'm a horrible reader. So sometime I will do it with the grace of God. But we're going to let the audio do it today. Probably lasts about maybe less than 5 minutes. And after that, I'll summarize it. Okay? But now, before we get started in the lesson, we do understand that the animal sacrifice was done away with. And the Levite priests, which was Aaron's sons, was done away with. Christ became the high priest, and he became the ultimate sacrifice for our atonement. Okay? But we still have to understand the chain of events of what happened in the first, and the middle, and in the end. So we still have to go through this Bible so you can have a clear understanding how God set up things and man messed it up. The children of Israel got away from their first love and caused themselves a serious problem. Okay? So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Like I say, this should last about 5 minutes, and then I'll summarize it. A 12-year-old can understand these lessons, folks. There's no such thing as no experts, scholars, all that. They can call themselves what they want to call themselves. There's only one expert, and that's the God who wrote this book. Okay? All right? Some people make it so complicated. All you have to do is read it or listen and go back and do your homework. Okay? So let's get started. The book of Leviticus, chapter 1.
The third book of Moses, called Leviticus, chapter 1. And the Lord called unto Moses, and spake unto him out of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, If any man of you bring an offering unto the Lord, ye shall bring your offering of the cattle, even of the herd, and of the flock. If his offering be a burnt sacrifice of the herd, let him offer a male without blemish. He shall offer it of his own voluntary will at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord. And he shall put his hand upon the head of the burnt offering, and it shall be accepted for him to make atonement for him. And he shall kill the bullock before the Lord, and the priests, Aaron's sons, shall bring the blood, and sprinkle the blood round about upon the altar that is by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he shall flay the burnt offering, and cut it into his pieces. And the sons of Aaron the priest shall put fire upon the altar, and lay the wood in order upon the fire. And the priests, Aaron's sons, shall lay the parts, the head, and the fat, in order upon the wood that is on the fire which is upon the altar. But his inwards and his legs shall he wash in water. And the priest shall burn all on the altar to be a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire, of a sweet savour unto the Lord. And if his offering be of the flocks, namely of the sheep, or of the goats, for a burnt sacrifice, he shall bring it a male without blemish. And he shall kill it on the side of the altar northward before the Lord. And the priests, Aaron's sons, shall sprinkle his blood round about upon the altar. And he shall cut it into his pieces, with his head and his fat, and the priest shall lay them in order on the wood that is on the fire which is upon the altar. But he shall wash the inwards and the legs with water, and the priest shall bring it all, and burn it upon the altar. It is a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire, of a sweet savour unto the Lord. And if the burnt sacrifice for his offering to the Lord be of fowls, then he shall bring his offering of turtle doves, or of young pigeons. And the priest shall bring it unto the altar, and wring off his head, and burn it on the altar, and the blood thereof shall be wrung out at the side of the altar. And he shall pluck away his crop with his feathers, and cast it beside the altar on the east part by the place of the ashes. And he shall cleave it with the wings thereof, but shall not divide it asunder. And the priest shall burn it upon the altar, upon the wood that is upon the fire, It is a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto the Lord.
Okay, so let's drop down to verse 3 right quick, where we see where he said, "And his offering be a burnt sacrifice of the herd. Let him offer it male without blemish, and he shall offer it on his own voluntary will." Okay, now the reason I'm bringing this up because today people are paying tithes and being forced to pay tithes, or may feel guilty of not paying tithes, or whatever the case is. Okay, we're not going to find nowhere as we continue to read here where money was involved when it came to anything about offerings to God, to the Lord, or money to the tabernacle. Okay, we're going to find this is all done with atonement of animal sacrifice of blood. Okay, I just want to throw that in there. Let's see here. Let's see if I missed anything I wanted to bring out. So we see that animals that they used. Now when they talked about the turtle dove and the pigeon, they had to break the neck, and they couldn't cut it in half. They had to burn the whole thing. But when it came to the goat or the sheep, or the ram, they had to, when they just remember the head and the inside, which is the inward parts. So we're talking about the liver and all the other stuff. They had to be burnt. That was to give it to God, to the Lord. He didn't want us eating the fat of the inside of animals. Why? Because it's toxic. Okay? It's bad for us. But when it came down to the legs and the hollow part of the body, there was a burned fat, and they was able to eat that and share it with the rest of the congregation. Okay? So, to really clear up, let me get my right page here. So, what this is all about, the breaking totally down, is the burnt offering, Leviticus 1. The burnt offering was an animal from the herd of a flock, and for the poor, a bird was completely burnt on the altar. It had to be an unblemished male. The worshiper laid a hand on the head, and the priest handled the blood at the altar. Nothing from the animal was eaten because all of it was burnt up. It was given so that worshipers could be accepted by God, make atonement, meaning God provide a way for the person to be welcome despite sin. This is what this is all about. Okay. Now I said earlier that the other part were eating with the congregation and all that. What it clearly said here that they weren't supposed to eat it, but we'll go with that. Okay. So Leviticus chapter 1, the burnt offering. So we got a little taste of that, because what we're going to find out in the book of Leviticus is there's going to be a whole lot of laws laid down that everything had to be followed by the letter. You couldn't mess around when it came to God, when he was dealing with your atonement and how this is supposed to be done and who was supposed to perform it. Aaron's sons. Okay? So with that said, go back and do your homework, reread it, get your own understanding. But looking forward to doing Leviticus chapter 2 with you next. And until then, be happy, stay safe, and thank you for your time.